Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to XAR on Twitch and YouTube. We are live on this May the 8th, 2025, as we continue our investigations in Ace Attorney investigations. I'm JR, and joining me once again, we have Mr. Neff Canuck. Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
It was a nice, boring day on this end. How about you?
All I can say is tomorrow is Friday. I just have to survive, and then 2 days of anybody bothers me, they're going to get it.
We have Bree. Hello, Bree.
Hello.
How are things in your neck of the woods?
So busy.
Yeah. I know you want these next few days to be over with, yeah?
Yes, please.
And
Fast forward easy button.
Would you say?
Fast forward easy button.
Fast forward easy button. That's what we all need. Hello, Karam. How are you?
Oh, I'm peachy.
Yep. So.
I'm here.
Yep. We also have, well, I was going to point that out, but she beat us to the punch. Shinigami Liz is again in the chat, still under the weather. I understand she's feeling a little better, but she will stick to the text chat again tonight. So, Liz, we're happy to hear you're doing well and hope you get a lot better soon. Okay, Neff, because we spoke about this on the podcast, I'll just ask you real quick. Your thoughts on the American Pope, and technically a Peruvian Pope because he has Peruvian citizenship too.
Well, I said this on another Discord, and I said, this is the closest a fan of the Chicago Bears would be coming to a miracle for the next little while.
A big, apparently he's a big sports fan. Wrigley Field put out a sign saying, "Hey Chicago," he's a Cubs fan, and then apparently sometime after that, the new Pope's brother, according to one article, suggested he's actually a White Sox fan.
Ooh, uh-oh.
So there's our first crisis there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a sports buff, and happy it happened and it ended so quickly, the conclave. So that's why I sort of titled the stream Habemus Lanceum, because we run into Lance at the end of the last stream that we did. So we're going to pick up here with this game in just a second. Once again, just like yesterday, we have the redemptions available. If you want to go fish, go ahead and do so. We're still giving away the Umemi Crochet Doll, and we've added a few more things into the special pile, so let's see what you get. Okay, Neff's gonna go and see what we have for Neff here. Wait, see what he gets. Success.
Get it.
Oh, I get a red-eye fish. We haven't seen that one before.
A red-eye fish? What do you mean? It stays up late?
Hey.
Fish.
So, the redemptions are now 8 per person for the stream. So you can redeem up to 8 times. We still have the same cooldown as before, a minute between casts. So, yes, please fish to your heart's content as we proceed. And again, the audio prompts are going to be off, but the results of the fishing casts will be up here in the chat. Again, even though we are also streaming on YouTube, you want to make sure that if you want to play, if you will, you have to go to Twitch and spend the Twitch coins in Go Fishing. We'll see what Karam gets real quick. Oh, you seem to be getting these gummy worms all the time, huh?
Well, I got gummy sharks last night.
Well, gummy anything. Yeah, you know what I mean. All right. So, yes, we ran into Lance, the son of Mr. Amano, who just happened to stagger into the scene we were investigating. And right away, Bree and Neff and Liz and everybody and you, Karen, were in agreement as well. Something's fishy about this Lance guy, right?
Yep.
Here.
So,
You're not saying that just for the halibut either.
oh,
Bar.
wait. You playing all these fish jokes. We're only 3 minutes into the stream.
We're fishing tonight in addition to trying to solve a crime here. You
Yeah,
gotta give me
yeah.
something here.
All right, we'll give you something. All right, let's continue. And let's see what we got here as we continue on. All right, March 13th, Wild Wild West area. We're back to the Wild Wild West. Here's Kay. Looks like we got the boot again. I'm gonna see what call let's get real quick. Barracuda. Ooh. Well, that's a nice rare one, too. With Lance safe, the focus on the investigation will shift solely onto the murder. You mean the infighting between the kidnappers? Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper. Miles, my boy. Up. Tell me it's true. Tell me that you've really found my boy. Yes, Mr. Amano, we found him earlier in the stadium. Then, my little Lance is unhurt. He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang. Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a... Okay. Oh, am I supposed to move? Okay, sure. Let's talk to, okay, let's talk to him first, I guess. Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough. It was nothing. I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver, but I have to say I'm relieved that Lance is all right. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him. A letter? What's this letter about? Ah, the way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe he received yet another love letter, you know. Here, take a look for yourself. Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? It's a very simple love letter. My dear Lanceum, may I come see you again, your beloved Viola. Sent by the Tender Lender Loan Company, or at least in an envelope from the Tender Lender Loan Company. I don't think that's a loan company I'd want to do business with, Neff.
No, and I'm looking at the quality of the ink. I'm hoping that's ink.
Yeah.
And I'm going, ew.
Yeah.
Something right there.
Hey, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company. Tender Lender looks more like a collection bill to me. Love letter data jotted down on my organizer. Okay. Can we talk to this person? He loves me not. He loves me not. Oh, that's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try. Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through. I suppose if they were me, then... I believe you said that you were Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct? Yes, I am, but... Oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring. The ring pop, which we called earlier. So I guess we're not just friends either? I mean, because this isn't just any ordinary ring. Ah! It tastes so sweet when...
Oh boy.
It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Ah, it's so wonderful. You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring? So which is it? Have you guys not decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided? Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know? My father used to work for Mr. Romano, and so Lance and I grew up together. I said that loud. I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Amano Group. What did he do? I heard his job was to fly around the world on Pegasus. Pegasus? Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a second. But now it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned. Ooh. Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown sounds like the stuff legends are made of. It's been so long, I don't think I'd recognize him if we were to ever meet again. I'm so sorry, Lauren. But I won't give in to the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live. About this incident. Incident? But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident. How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped? Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition. You based everything on that. I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny. She started fantasizing again. Calvin has a lobster. So what are you going to do now, Mr. Edgeworth? We already established that there's a good chance the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two. The hideout?
Quite possibly, yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Alright, let's save first. In case you make a wrong move. The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout. But we're still not allowed in, remember? Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there is no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. Oh, okay. What do you have to report? Sir, nothing unusual out of the ordinary, sir. Where have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us take a look around inside? Sir, roger, sir. Ah, he moved out. That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you not to allow me in? Sir, that's true, sir, but the Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. Ooh. And I couldn't refuse a request from him. Wow, looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following. Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir. What is this? The man in this picture, isn't that Mr. Oliver Deacon? Colin Deveray. Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Penny Dent Prison. Stole a gun from his guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. Oh boy. The name here says Colin Deveray. That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Deveray was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison? What? Then what was he doing here? Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was an escaped felon. Ooh. Now I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine. Let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout. Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later. More than thinking things through, I think you should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer. It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then the door's been wide open, sir. I'm not sure I follow what it is you're saying. Care to explain in a bit more detail? Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room, so they got about 10 officers to help out and break down the door, sir. I see. I guess that means I got Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find.
Knowing how sloppy he is, there's leftovers.
Wow, it's exactly the same type of room, and it has a little break corner over there, along with a picture of Disneyland. Oh, that's not Disneyland. Kind of reminds me of the Disneyland map, though. So this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed. While you were tied up for a while in the room next door. Kay, please, must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity. Begin investigation. Kidnapper's hideout. Okay. Liz. I'll let Liz choose first. Where would you like us to search? We have a lot of items in this room to search. As a matter of fact, I'm going to... No. I want to save the game. I don't want Miles Edgeworth to exit. All right. Table? Okay.
Well, I see something very suspicious right off the bat.
Well, let's look at the table. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Oh, okay. All right, Liz, where on the table would you like to search? Neff might have a clue. I think I have a clue, too. Key! Is that what you were thinking, Neff?
No, I'm thinking something else, but that's actually a good start, too.
I wonder what this key is to. You got me. It reminds me of the key we found in the other room. That's it. This must be the key for one of those trapdoors. That wasn't a trapdoor. You only call it one because you quite literally jumped into it. Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one? I am not having this conversation with you.
Wow.
All right. Well, you know me. I like my coffee. So how about these coffee cups? Cheap styrofoam cups. Looks like only 3 cups were used. Ooh. 3 cups, eh? Okay. Well, we got chairs. Folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers. An epic lionfish by Caldith. Congratulations, but it's not the crochet doll. Oof. There are 3 chairs set around the table. Okay. All right. We have a map. A poster of Gatewaterland is stuck on this wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige. Gatewaterland has it all, and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it? That's about it, I think. Let's back out. And Neff will see what you catch. You get a finished fish.
So I'm finished?
Yes, you are.
Har, har.
Har, 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 har. Okay, Neff, what did you want to investigate?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, why is it cracked? Let's tell all.
Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth, it's a broken mirror. It probably came from the haunted house. Why is this here? Are they planning to repair it? Okay. Bree?
The hole.
The hole?
Yeah.
Hey, there's a trapdoor in this room too. It's not a trapdoor. It's an entrance to an underground passage, Kay. I know that. The door leading to the outside world was locked, so Lance must have escaped his prison through here. What?
I see something I want to see.
Well,
Lucy?
That bin with that costume in it.
oh, this must be where they dispose of old and worn out costumes. That's so sad. It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. Okay.
Now can we take it out?
Not yet. Karam.
Sword down to the right. I think it's a sword.
A sword?
By the door. Under where it says options.
What have we here? Looks like a sword. A broken sword? Strange. Why would it be broken like that? Huh?
Because it smacked you in the head.
I was gonna
Oh!
say. Bonk.
So,
But they do break when they hit something hard, like your head, Edgeworth.
swords don't usually break on their own. That's true. All right, then let's think about it in this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for or on something. Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later.
I think he knows.
I'm gonna check the door. This door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. Oh, we have more to check here. Okay, well, I will check. We checked this already. Would you like, Neff, the barrels or the door handle?
I'm always one for rolling out the barrel and having some fun. So let's try that first.
They have barrels like these just outside. Yes, and... Well, I know I already asked you when we were out there, but if these were real... Oh no, Calva's got a Sarah Umemi Alice Ballet poster. Okay, but not the Umemi Crochet doll. I saw Umemi in the text and I kind of perked up a little bit. If these were real, what would you put in them? There's an expectant gleam in her eyes that I'm about to dash. Okay, Liz, we have the door, but we also have the ladder as well and the quote-unquote escape hatch. So, Liz, what would you like to see? Handle or escape hatch? Let's see what she says. Ladder. Okay. See what Neff gets. I got the record cover, the Sarah record cover. Cool.
There we go.
The panel that hid the entrance to the underground is propped up and wide open. Be careful where you step, Kay. I only fell into the other opening once, you know. Alright. That doorknob handle thingy is looking pretty beat up. I suppose that's what happens when 10 officers break their way in with brute force. Hey, that's odd. The lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent. But how is that possible after what that officer told us? Yeah, if the lock had been in use when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked. So the lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be? Well, I have a hypothesis. What if the sword was in there as like a security deadbolt,
Yeah.
which got broken when the door got busted down?
Okay, so for some reason they didn't use the key. They instead decided to use the sword as a kind of shiv. Interesting.
I don't, or yeah, they secured the door from the inside with the sword and then went out the hatch. It's kind of like a deadbolt to your room, yeah, or to your house. All right. Is there anything else? Not here. Let me see if there's anything else here in this room. And then we might have to take action here in a second. Up, we have some more chairs. Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state. Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. They're not even a single hair off. I feel bad using these because it'd be like stealing the perfection away. I suspect it's more like you wouldn't want to be the one to put them away.
Oof.
All right. All right, there are a few other things we haven't checked. Got the sign. A sign advertising the photo rally, something I have absolutely no interest in. Yeah, but I do, and I'm going to get my hands on the rest of the Badger family. You'll see. She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. We should just let her jump until she tires out.
I mean, he's probably going there. When does her sugar run out?
All right, we have these signs up here, which I'm going to check. Beyond this door is where the kidnappers hold you after getting the jump on you. Must you keep reminding me? But it's the room where I got to see your awesome new face. You didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment either. Okay, I believe we can't check what's up top. So I think we might be done here. So let's save.
Something we can logic here.
Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, folks. My dad walked in and had to tell me something. All is good. Okay, so we're going to... What are we going to do? I saved the game, right?
Yep. And I mentioned we might want to try and logic something at this point because I'm thinking about this. There's like, wait a minute. There's some thinking we can do here.
Right, I agree. Okay. So we saved. Now let's go to logic mode. We have costume pieces. In the hideout, there is a trash bin for old and useless costumes. Folding chairs. 3 of them were set up. It's very likely the kidnappers sat in these. The door leading outside. The door had to be forced open, yet the lock is intact. Was it not locked? They were on top of the table. The coffee looks like it was poured today. Broken pop sword found lying next to the door, broken cleanly in half. Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'd like to try broken pop sword. Prop sword, not a real sword, which means it probably is not as strong as a real sword. And this one, what do you guys think?
I think that's the easy
Let's
one.
do it.
It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time. But the policeman outside said it took 10 men to get it open. A door that was locked tight despite it being not locked at all. It can only be because of this. Oh, you mean... Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed? So that's how the sword broke. Broken pop sword data jotted down on my organizer. Okay. Bree, what should we connect next?
The folding chairs and the 3 cups?
I think so. 3s and 3s.
Which is very strange when you think about it.
The common denominator between the cups and folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3. Ooh. Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers. Indeed. Something isn't adding up, literally. Lance was the 3rd one?
Yeah.
Well, we can end this chapter right away. Okay, well, we gotta let it drag on. Is it possible there is a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. Ah! Well. What is it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct? What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that? This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We Badgers also make use of it in our duties. Look, why don't you get out of there first, and then we'll talk, okay? I beg your pardon, miss. Proto Badger get! All right, only 1 more to go. What are you getting all excited about? Did you forget? The photo rally, duh. See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the Bad Badger and I'm done. Ah, yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort. Oh.
What?
What? It's gone, but where did it go? What happened? What's wrong? A Bad Badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnappers stole it. I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes have been taken. What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto Badger, please tell me a little more about these costumes you use. Guess we're gonna talk to him. What did you mean by a Bad Badger costume is missing? Why, just what I said, sir. We are 1 Bad Badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all times. Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park, the other should be in that room. Actually, both of them should be in that room. Huh? What do you mean? Normally, we don't use the Bad Badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. It's the stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc around the park. And the other Badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm speechless that such a show exists. Well, sir, I was just trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume. Now, doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger? Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I to do, sir? All this basically means is that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total. Then are you saying there are 4 kidnappers? No, I don't think that's very likely. Oh? Recall the costumes for a minute. The stolen ones, you mean? What proves that a 4th kidnapper better save. Okay, what proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist?
Oh.
Nev?
Because there's a costume.
There's
left
3
there.
cups. 3 chairs.
Well, we have to present something here. We have a costume in here. That's the only thing that sort of sticks out to me.
Do it.
Yeah.
Take that!
If you had 4 people and you wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a pink badger costume instead? Yeah, that makes sense. And yet the kidnappers decided to steal another Bad Badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 Bad Badger costumes, but the question is why? A fourth stolen costume by the third person kidnapping group. Where's the other costume? It would be in that bin, or am I wrong?
It would be binned, yes.
All right. So now we can go
Again.
tie it together now, right? Yep.
Yep.
Has to be. The second Bad Badger costume. I believe it may be closer at hand than we think. What do you mean? That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that it's wearing some very telltale pants? Hey, you're right. Let's get it out of there and take a look. As I suspected, it's a Bad Badger costume. Well, minus the head. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, I don't think there's anything suspicious about this costume except, you know, that hole in the hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Well, let's look at the costume in general. I wonder why this Bad Badger costume's right hand is torn up like that. Maybe it's a flesh wound from a fight with the Blue Badger? Or maybe it's where the gun was held? I always knew the Blue Badger was one ferocious beast. I somehow doubt that even real badgers are as bloodthirsty as that, Kay. Alright, now let's zero in on this. Its hand is hurt. It looks more like something was ripped off of it. Oh!
Oh. What did he have in his hand earlier when they were showing that show?
The gun. A gun.
I saw a gun and then a book or something. But I think that, I mean, that is...
Oh, this maybe?
Yep.
That shows that, I guess, the gun is part of his wardrobe. Yeah, he has a gun. Blue Badger has the police belt, if you will. And the Pink Badger has the handcuffs. And the Proto Badger is just the Proto Badger. Yeah, I think I'm tempted to, what do I do here? Deduce? So they replaced the fake gun with a real gun, Liz says. Aha! Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Well, let's try presenting this. Eureka! Eureka! I believe what we have here is an inconsistency. Between what? Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be. Oh, the gun! Precisely. The Bad Badger was designed to always hold the gun in his right hand. However... You there, did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand? No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I thought. The rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. Oh! Then they swapped the blanks out, maybe. We need to use them for the stage show. It seems that our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun, my dear costume friend. Missing model gun data jotted down on my organizer. Investigation complete. I think we're about done with this room. So what's next? Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay. March 13th, 3:34 p.m. Wild West area. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! You gotta hurry, sir. Come on. What is it, detective? Wag, wag. They found a blue badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir. What? Isn't that what one of the kidnappers was wearing? Bingo, that's why you've got to come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before Wolf Boy does, sir. All right, let's make haste to the main gate.
His face was priceless.
Who's Edgeworth's?
Yeah.
Well, we've seen him. We've seen that face when he's been stumped by Phoenix Wright many a times.
Well.
Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir.
Oh.
Was it out here in the open all along? No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. Then let's get down to it. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. This don't look suspicious at all. What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon? Is it possible that these two? Hold it right there. Oh no. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren. Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. Lauren D. Ooh. Lauren Deveray? Or that person.
Yeah.
Aha, we have you now, Miss Kidnapper. No, you don't understand. Lolly, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. Lance! You're kidding, Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers? Yes. She confessed. It was me. I held Lance hostage. So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over. Hey guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Huh. Again, Mr. Prosecutor, what is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. Huh. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who are you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession. Uh-oh. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Pops. Yes? I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder. But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough? She's cutting her hair. It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Maybe she's trying to cover for somebody. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you soak away as the losing mutt. All right, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today. Oh, jeez. Miss Pops's confession. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back, after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. Oh. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much. Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth? Yes, it is. If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth, because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. Pops' confession. So let's see what's improbable after I save.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is, how does she know the butler?
Yes.
Hold it!
Related in some way, because it says Lauren D on the pendant. How well did you know the victim? I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house. A few times. That's it? Yes. If they only met a few times, I don't see how they could have trusted each other. But if you hardly ever talk, then how could he trust you not to steal his plan? That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Sheena? Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself. Ha! I bet you didn't see that one coming. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage.
Hold it!
You knew? How did you know something like that? Oh no, what should I do? Okay, what's wrong with her now? Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way? No, stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy. Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare. Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Miss Pops, let's continue with your testimony. Yes, of course. Mr. Amano will pay anything to get his son back, after all.
Hold it!
Why did you believe that? Anyone who knows Mr. Amano would think the same. I bet Lance is that old man's greatest treasure. I suppose he would be a doting father like Mr. Amano. I always figured that it was too, and I was always envious of Lance for it. Oh, because your dad's... I got this pendant from my father. And I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. Well, there's your answer, I think. He'll welcome me into his arms, riding on the back of Pegasus. That pendant, she must truly believe it to be the wings of Pegasus. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money...
Hold it!
Would you mind telling us a little about the plan itself? Well, first we captured Lance. Ooh, how did you do that? Well, Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know. Bah, and here I thought you knew how to steal people away. I shudder to think what you would do with such knowledge. Sorry, I really don't know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him. All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
Hold it!
Why do you think he did? I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops. Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning. Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Perhaps we should. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely. Huh? I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you. But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money. Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you? What do you mean? You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops. I betcha this is the wings that belong on this.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
Mm-hmm. So, on that end, proving Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops is probably gonna be this.
Take that!
Why are you showing this to me? So what about the pendant? This pair of wings along with this piece of evidence shows who you really are. As Tyrion Cuthbert would say, that's checkmate.
Take that!
These two pendants, Wag Wag, resemble each other, wouldn't you agree? Hey, you're right, they're the same color and even made of the same material. I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Shall we give it a try? Wow, it's totally Pegasus! But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's? You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be. No, that can't be. So the two make a set. It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything. You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. Well, hang on. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. Whatever we have that shows the guy's true identity.
That report. Yeah. No, the report. The next one.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Deveray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant. What? An alias? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Deveray's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. This specific section is what reveals the true meaning.
Wife and soul
Wife and
daughter.
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 Uh-huh.
Take that!
Mr. Deveray had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops. That's a lie. That person was not my father. He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man will allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot? Ha 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 ha! And what is so funny, Agent Lang? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. Oh no. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter, But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the house of Amano, and the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that they didn't know of their true relationship, right? And you're saying that the two of them committed the kidnapping together? That's right, as one really rotten family. Is that what really happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence. Another possibility. Well, let's save again. Okay, press.
Hold it!
Precisely, and what father would ever willingly kill his own daughter? I've seen a lot of things in my travels, and I can tell you that being related by blood is sometimes proof of nothing. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact?
Hold it!
You think they knew? Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't. Because he was on the lam. You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore, it was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the house of Amano.
Hold it!
Once as a butler and one as the friend of the son, you mean? They probably thought that was their best shot. Is that what you honestly believe? Of course. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives? Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair. The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were, in fact, family. Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced those roles as well. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
Hold it!
I believe you're being a bit too overconfident for someone with no evidence. Am I? Because I don't see you presenting any evidence to the contrary. Ugh. Without evidence, we're stuck in a stalemate. Agent Lang isn't wrong. His scenario is certainly a probable one. You'd better hurry up and do something or Lauren's gonna wind up looking really bad. I know, but first things first. Is Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Was the crime really committed by the two of them, by this father-daughter pair? Okay, let me save again before we make a decision here. Okay, so if we go by what the game suggests, we have to present evidence. So let's take a look at our evidence. Land pamphlet, Badger photo rally, Bad Badger's head. Umemi says try again.
Same to you.
You got one of the new ones, Neff.
So I saw.
Okay, so Gatewater Land pamphlet, Badger photo rally, Bad Badger's head, Blue Badger Bible, stolen costumes, Mr. Deacon's murder notes, Mr. Deacon's pendant, Blue Badger mobile, victim's costume, love letter, Colin Everett dossier, broken pop sword, missing model gun, Mrs. Pops' pendant. Do you have any idea? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying, I don't think we need to question him on this.
Okay.
I mean, this is basically, we both agree to this.
Isn't it possible they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the house of Amano, and the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? Let's see. Well, I may have a problem with this. Do you have an idea, Bree? I was gonna ask Bree first.
No.
Okay. Two of them make good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping.
Oh, there's more than the two of them.
There are 3 missing costumes.
Objection!
This kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. 3! 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe this third person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Oh. Who is this mastermind? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. The man that just happened to stagger out at the end of the chapter saying, "Help me."
Hi.
Yeah.
Karam, should we go for it?
Do it.
Take that!
Lanceum? Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but 2. One was a woman. However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said. But I know I only saw 2 people. This guy was being held hostage. It's possible you couldn't see all 3 of them. Ah, yes, about when you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive? I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time, but the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could. Through the underground passageway, I presume. Are you okay? Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. How can you not? Why do you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor and because they're all like that. I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth, and should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little. When I push a little, does that mean press?
Press duck.
Press away. Let's save first, and then we'll press. I'll go back to the beginning here. All right.
Hold it!
Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail? It was a strange morning. I felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm. And where were you when you experienced this calm? Our family garden, of course. Where else could it have been? Well, excuse me for asking. This child is more princess than prince. I was out taking a walk to shake off the morning blah. Then out of the blue, someone from behind clamps a hand over my mouth. You didn't see your attacker. They must have used some drug to knock me out, because before I knew it, I was off in La La Land again. When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hideout already, all tied up. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time.
Hold it!
By that room, you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct? Yes, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape. Then, you were in the same room as your kidnappers. They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation. It was definitely two people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared, I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare make a move. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside.
Hold it!
The kidnappers disappeared. The room fell into a sudden silence. I had been left behind like an unwanted mutt. And what do you mean by unwanted mutt? What a pointless question. It's not like he's going to tell you anything new, you know. It's a poetic smile. You should learn how to use them too. You may look refined on the outside, but it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone.
Hold it!
Then those cuffs on your wrists, I suppose you're still cuffed in that case. I am well aware of how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined. The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway. Oh, hold on. I need to do something right here real quick. Here we go.
You figured it out, boss, eh?
And what would that be? Well, I give you ye old broken sword.
Objection!
Caliber.
You say that the door leading outside was locked, but was it really?
Woof. Hello.
We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena? Yes, that's correct. Then take a look at this. What is that, a sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by the sword, which was used to jam the handle. Oh. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape? Why didn't I? I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not in fact possess the key to the door. That is why you used a prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own. Uh-oh. You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. And what would that be? A motive, what else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself? Well,
Pure boy.
this proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit this crime. Let's see if Liz has a guess this time. What proves that Lance had a motive to commit this crime? I'm gonna scroll through everything without saying anything. Let's not give Liz any suggestions. Ta-da! She got it. Letter for Lanceum.
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is, in fact, a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Ugh. Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh? All right, I give up. I abducted myself. Lance! It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that million, but now that dream is over. Oh, Lance! Then you were giving yourself up. Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money. That's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the Blue Badger costume. That would mean the person Officer Meekin saw was Miss Pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless, and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a Blue Badger costume, took the suitcase with $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly. I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. Oh. Then it really was you? Oh boy. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life. I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was? If what she says is true, are you saying she's lying? Well, why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You'd be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more, and you'll see. Liz believes Lance gave her the gun with the blanks. Oh. Let's save. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium...
Hold it!
Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this. But all you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me? Alright, so at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with $1 million in it.
Hold it!
That was the ransom money, wasn't it? Yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me. And what did he tell you? Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money, and about how he had a gun. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true, my father's left arm was raised with a gun in it, pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. But that badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead. Press.
What's wrong with that?
Oh?
There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Hold on. And you felt that your life was in danger, correct? Yes, I'm about to die, I thought. So... That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. Okay, so let's back up. What's the problem? But the badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead.
He's right-handed.
Right hand.
He's right-handed.
Yeah.
You saw that costume? The whole...
Yeah, that too.
Picture right there. Look, the gun. Go down to that one and see what it says.
I was ripping the bad badger capable of firing blanks. There was something that I guess we didn't save the blue badger costume, right?
Could we?
He's right-handed. Go to the what's it called?
The badger family thing. Yeah.
Dossier.
The dossier?
Yeah.
Dominant hand right.
Uh-huh.
Finito.
Objection!
Nope. I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Ah, then the person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The bad badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Unless the real gun, the toy gun, was ripped out of that. Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Ooh. Enough with the smugness. Out with it already. Miss Pops told us earlier there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. According to you, the bad badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the bad badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face. But if that's the case, even I can see there is a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the bad badger, and yet the bad badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. It wasn't the bad badger, both hands were not occupied, or both are correct? It couldn't have been both hands are not occupied.
Yeah, we already know that.
And it couldn't have been it wasn't the bad badger, because I guess we saw the costume having been disposed. Or... Oh no, wait a minute.
Remember we said there were two costumes stolen of one type?
Yes.
What if there were two bad badger costumes stolen?
Okay. So then... Both?
Yep.
You agree, Bree?
Yeah.
Okay. And Karam, you have the same opinion?
I say go for it.
They are both correct. Impossible! That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that bad badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half?
Hey now.
Da 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 da. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, that's.
Da, 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 This proves that there was a...
Whoa, that's a statement, Edgeworth. Holy moly.
This proves that there was a way for the bad badger to freely use both of his hands. Excuse me?
Really?
Ah. Well, what way was there for the bad badger to freely use both of his hands? Remove the head, maybe?
Yep.
Let's see.
Because you put the bad badger's head on a proto badger's body, there you go.
Ah. The costumes have two parts to them, a head and the body. Oh, I get it now. The head Miss Pop saw is probably really the head of the bad badger. However, it is not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger. A different badger? Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the bad badger Miss Pop saw was... saying the proto badger.
Proto.
Yep.
Take that!
What? The heck is it? It's the proto badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the proto badger costume? That would be Lance. Eh.
Oops.
Are you saying what I think you are? That Lanceum donned the bad badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon, on top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing? The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Sweat drop, sweat drop, sweat drop, sweat drop. Why exactly would I have had to do all that, huh? There is but one reason, Lanceum. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What? No! That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. Not like the proto badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right? Of course. Logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. Well, I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet because he switched out the gun.
Yep. Blinks.
Lenko.
Take that!
We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing. Plus, it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Pops, where's the gun you use now? I threw it away into the sea. Uh-oh. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe that we can safely assume it was the model gun in question. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Ha! I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Please, wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance. She saw the victim in the state of being restrained. Another one? Oh boy. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? Okay, Liz. We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. Neff collecting more junk.
Story of my life.
We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium, but then as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. Oh boy. Resave. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout? It was after we had picked up the ransom money. And where were you up until the time you returned? I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas looking for the best route. So each of them had their own roles to play. After I was done, I went back to the hideout. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon.
Hold it!
How did Lance look at that time? He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes, Thank you, that's enough for now. And what of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like? He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. Now, Karam, I hear you reacting to this. What are you thinking?
No, it was Edgeworth.
Yeah.
Edgeworth's
Room next
what?
door had Eddie in it, not the.
Oh, very well done. So, well, let's press and see what she says. You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw? Yes, I'm certain of what I saw. Did you go into the other room to check? Lance said it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul. Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself? I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon. She saw a bad badger head. The captain had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon.
Hold it!
So the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his bad badger costume? Yes, and it would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Sure. The person you saw was not the victim. What? Why not? I will tell you why not. With this, Miss Pops, show us that the person you saw was not the victim. The head?
Yep.
Take that!
Miss Pop, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. Huh? The person you actually saw was this person. Yours truly. It was me. Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth? I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right? That's... You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on. And then made your costume escape together, or so you pretended. What do you mean he pretended? Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword. He then escaped via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment, all that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right, you were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Potts would have still seen me tied to that beam. I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Uh-oh. Who said that? Uh-oh. Please, wait. Mr. Romano. Ho, 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 Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad! Let's see, you are the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. Oh, he's not gonna pay him off, is he? No. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? Up. Is that what I think it is? It's the bad badger costume the victim was wearing, and a gun, and a bullet hole.
And something in the head.
Oh. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea. Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There. Now, Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Romano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says. What? The Chief of Police? What the? Just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area. Ho ho ho! There now. There is no need to be so upset. Oh, so Ernest has, shall we say, Nev, the Chief of Police under his wing.
He's greased the wheels, is what we call this.
I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. Connections, yes, called it. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood in this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? I'll be the judge of that. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Let's save. And we'll immediately investigate the thing that catches our eye in the head.
Yes.
Yep.
Another pendant. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume head. They sparkle. I bet they're really valuable. Ooh, it's glass. Ooh, I think I know where it comes from.
Mirror.
Ooh, I think somebody smashed into the mirror. During the struggle, maybe?
When they got shot.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
And gun.
Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here? Mirror fragments data jotted down on my organizer. Okay. Which gun should we look at? The one that's on the body or the one in the hand?
For funsies, let's look at the one in the hand. If we can.
Nope,
Yeah.
can't.
No. Okay, so then we
This
have to
one.
look at the one on the body.
Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? Revolver data jotted down on my organizer. Used to kill Deacon was originally stolen from guard by victim during escape. Now I guess we could look at the bullet hole. This bullet hole, it looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is a most important fact. Why is that? Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Oh, inside while wrestling next to the mirror. Victim's costume data updated in the organizer. Hello, Liz. Look what we found, Liz. We found the head of the Amano group is wheeled in with some random evidence brought up from the sea. A blue badger head that has a piece of a mirror shard in it, and the gun used to commit the crime on the body, and a bullet hole on the body of the blue badger with burn marks to show that it was fired at point blank range. Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Estworth over there. Uh-oh. Decisive evidence. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they proved that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. Bulls. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why wouldn't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence?
More.
Okay. So let's save. This is kind of like the cornered music, I guess, in the game. I think. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints in that murderous gun. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops? There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensic techniques money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Sure.
Yep.
Objection, cuz.
Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pops' print should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pops' print should not be on the gun is, Bree...
She had a blink. The blink.
Do you have the blanks?
Oh no.
Neff, do you have a thought?
Okay, so shouldn't. Okay, let me think here. if she was in costume, why would her fingerprints be on that gun?
Stolen costumes?
Yeah.
Yep.
She stole the proto badger, so she wouldn't need a hole in the hands.
Take that!
That's it. It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon, because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints. Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching a gun at all at any time? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it, wag wag. That is when Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun. Yeah. Do you understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance. What? No way. I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? Huh. That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all.
The glass shards?
That we found in the costume?
Ooh.
Take that!
This piece of evidence proves that the real crime scene is not in fact the stadium. Mr. Prosecutor, I have to rate that piece of logic a 0 out of 10. 0? It's at least a 6.8 out of 10. At this rate, Lolly's going to wind up getting arrested. I must remain calm and think clearly. If the murder did not happen at the stadium, then the scenario when the victim was up on the stage and Miss Pops was down below, there must be something that invalidates it. Would be the bullet hole?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because remember, we're talking close range here.
Mm-hmm. So then we're gonna look for... victim's costume.
Take that!
Let us take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then, I believe you will see why I insist he is not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it.
Take
Right
that!
on the hole. Fire in the hole.
The burner of this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. Ah, so then you mean the murder Miss Olbeck saw at the stadium really was... Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Neff? Lance said...
Okay, it has to... Yeah, go ahead.
I was reading this. Go ahead.
Obviously, we're talking about the room next door.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way the glass shards fit in.
Yep. Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that, and the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. Oh! The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here, where
The haunted house.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we saw the broken mirror in there when Edgeworth was going to deliver the ransom. So, present.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? We have some broken pieces of glass.
It's a real pain in the glass.
These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. A mirror? And what does that have to do with anything? Indeed. You don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lanceum, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. What is this, Clue?
I was gonna say, wait a minute, Colonel Mustard. Ugh.
Or in your country, it's Cluedo, isn't it?
No, it's still Clue.
It's still
Actually,
Clue in
Cluedo
Canada?
French.
Okay.
Cluedo is French, yes, that's right.
In French, in France, it's Cluedo. Okay, so in Quebec, it'll be Cluedo. Okay.
Yep.
After that, you stole the Blue Badger-mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger-mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. Miles, my boy, say no more. I'm sorry, Mr. Armano, but I cannot do that. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there? But Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? Lang Ji says, on truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. Oh. See, so since you don't have any, shut up. I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. What now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted, but you're not to touch a single thing, got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. Doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. Cheh. Gina! I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval. Who is that? Now. Let's hold on for a second. There is no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano? Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. Oh, I've given you permission for some reason to investigate? What is this, Sheena? It's the deed to the haunted house. Or that. The deed. Read it out loud. Gatewater Land Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million. Paid in full in cash. Aha! What? Ho ho ho, as you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house. Are you kidding? When did you... I ran to the owner of the park earlier. We made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was... Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money? My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier, so I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. To be continued. Okay.
Final stage.
Then.
Well, it's not going to happen tonight.
I'm just going, the lengths this guy is going to save his own kid.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's frightening. It's like, whoa.
Yep. Liz, we'll see your thoughts here if you want to let us know. But, Bree, how the tide has turned, huh?
Oh man, it's sounding too realistic with the heir getting saved.
Yeah, right. Karam?
Sounds like Daddy's got something to hide.
Yeah. So the ransom money was in fact the money to pay for the haunted house? Or the other way around? I think I am understanding what's going on, but in any case, Miles Edgeworth has hit the proverbial brick wall. So, so we're gonna find out next week when we continue, and hopefully we'll finish. I don't know how we're gonna finish at this rate, but it's another one of those long cases, I guess. We will wrap things up then. If you'd like to reach us, I'm gonna see if maybe we want to do 1 or 2 more fishing redemptions, which is why I'm gonna leave this screen up. But what did Liz say here? I think the dad is involved. Not sure how, though, unless he was holding info about the father and daughter. Ooh, okay. And call that says, I can almost hear Mr. Amano saying I would have gotten away with it not these meddling kids. That is a good hypothesis, actually, Liz. You got an Oreochromis, Bree. All right. So nobody caught the crochet doll, so we will put that up for next week. Maybe we'll just, this seems to be going well with the casting of the lines here, so
don't you mean nobody hooked the crochet doll?
Oh my goodness, wow. That was low. I don't know what Liz would think about that. Oh boy.
I'm probably gonna get a crochet needle up my nose the next time we.
Yeah.
Oh.
with some crochet yarn, but that's a bit of a stretch. So anyway, we'd like to thank you as Karam casts the line. Let's see what she gets.
The last line.
Last one for
Last
you.
line of defense.
Big Mama Pickle. There we go.
What?
Big Mama Pickle.
That's not kosher, boss.
That's worth 105 gold. So anyway, XAR on Twitch and YouTube will return next week, probably on Tuesday. We'll work that schedule out over the weekend and get back to you. That's quite a pickle call that says har har har. And we also got to figure out about the next podcast. So we'll let you know about all that information. Is there a dad and baby deal? How am I supposed to know that, Karam?
That's a dilly of a question.
Oh, geez. Anyway, XAR on Twitch and YouTube comes back next week. And if you'd like to reach us, all of the links to our social media are available at linktree.com/anime radio. The image that served as my backdrop on the podcast yesterday, that is now posted at XAR Mascots on Instagram, so you can check it out there. And also, don't forget, we have the brand new wallpaper of Umemi, which you can download. Again, go to our Linktree, linktree.com/anime radio. And you can either go to our Discord or to our Google Drive and download it for free. So that will wrap things up for tonight and for the week. We hope you enjoyed this week of programming. And until we see you next week, for Bree and Neff and Karam and Liz in the chat, I'm JR. Thanks for watching us play Ace Attorney Investigations /LurkBait. Until next week, remember,
Keep on looking out for the Extreme Mario Twitch streams, and don't forget, archive versions of our podcasts are available at xarpodcast.net. That's xarpodcast.net, or your favorite podcasting platform. Good night, everybody.
good night. And I forgot, yes, audio podcasts should be up by tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you back on Twitch and YouTube next week. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.